Pocket FM.
To unlock all the episodes, click the link in bio.
Edgar confronts Baroness Katrina, revealing he knows about her past. He uses this knowledge to manipulate her into keeping her daughter away from his wife, Alessandra. He also insists on taking Alessandra's new maid, Sally, despite Katrina's objections. Katrina, desperate to protect her secret, is forced to comply. But what does she plan to tell Sally? And what are Edgar's real intentions for the young maid? Would Sally agree to go with Edgar? And what was Edgar's true motive for wanting Sally to serve his wife? Will Alessandra like it to have a person from her past in her new life?
The house had a lot of brown objects and no sort of color to make the house come alive.
If they sell this, they could pay off their debts. Why hold on to an expensive vase when you're drowning?
Edgar shook his head. He would never understand why everyone cared to make their houses look expensive when they were so close to only having bread and water for dinner. When would the town learn to stop living above their means? People like the Barretts loved to impress those richer than them, like Edgar. But Edgar was never one to care. He was more intrigued by how soon they would be living on the streets.
Someone tried breaking her door.
Edgar ran his finger down a crack in the middle of Alessandra's door. It had not been there the last time he paid a visit.
Smart girl.
He complimented Alessandra, as it meant she knew something was up and locked her door. He liked how Alessandra was a quick thinker. From asking him to join a marriage contract to knowing she had to lock herself inside, she tried to be one step ahead to avoid trouble in the future. If not for the marriage contract that night, she would have been sent to William. Had there not been a carriage waiting by the gates, she would have run away last night. Contrary to what anyone else thought, Alessandra was a fighter in Edgar's eyes. There were many others who sat around waiting to be rescued. Alessandra was her own hero. Edgar pushed open the door to be greeted by the sight of a room with an entirely different vibe from the rest of the house. There was color throughout the room thanks to paintings hung up on the walls, but it was clear no money was recently spent on the upkeep of the room.
How is she so calm after all of this?
Edgar wondered. If it was him in Alessandra's position, he would have barricaded all the doors and windows, then set the house on fire with his family in it. Alessandra's family placed her in a room that resembled one the servants used. Why wasn't she seeking out revenge on Kate and Katrina? How is this kind of life easy to let go and move on from?
My wife and I are polar opposites,
Edgar said, as he was not the forgiving kind when it came to this type of situation. Noticing a desk by the window with some sort of cloth dangling out the window, Edgar went to inspect it. He picked up the cloth and pulled it back inside.
Did she climb out the window with this flimsy-looking thing?
Edgar asked in disbelief. The material of the cloth looked like it could snap if too much weight was placed on it. Edgar once again started to regret giving Desmond such a quick death. He should have inflicted the same fear and panic Alessandra felt when she had no choice but to escape out the window.
Duke Collins, the Baroness sent me to help take out Alessandra's things. Only one person? I will help you.
Edgar watched the servant, a young man barely old enough to shave, struggle with a small chest of drawers. He wondered what meager possessions Alessandra had managed to salvage. Did she even have anything of value left? Or had her family already stripped her bare, leaving her with nothing but the clothes on her back and the memories of a life that was no longer hers? He thought of the makeshift rope hanging out the window, the desperate escape. Alessandra, his wife in name only, was proving to be a puzzle he couldn't quite solve. Was she truly as resilient as she seemed, or was this quiet acceptance a facade, hiding a simmering rage beneath? And what would happen when that rage finally boiled over? He had a feeling he was about to find out. But was he prepared for the answer?
Hey, I'm Alessandra. If you're wondering what happens next, download the Pocket FM app now and listen to the exciting episodes of The Duke's Masked Bride.
Edgar visits Alessandra's room, finding it surprisingly colorful but neglected. He's baffled by her calm demeanor after her family's betrayal and her desperate escape via a makeshift rope. He helps a servant remove her meager belongings, wondering about her true feelings and what she'll do next. Was she truly as resilient as she seemed? Or was this quiet acceptance a facade, hiding a simmering rage beneath? Did she even have anything of value left? Or had her family already stripped her bare, leaving her with nothing but the clothes on her back and the memories of a life that was no longer hers?
Edgar began to roll up his sleeves to help. Turning around, he found a tall, buff man with red hair. This person could easily be a guard.
What is your role here? I am the cook, but as you can see, the Baroness has added more jobs,
Mario replied, picking up 2 bags belonging to Alessandra while Edgar fixed his shirt. He heard about Alessandra jumping out her window last night and wanted to know if she was all right.
Duke Collins, can I ask a question? You just did. Next time, ask for 2 questions. How is Alessandra? Is she all right after what happened last night?
Inquired Mario. As much as he was happy with Alessandra no longer living here, he once again changed his mind about her being with the Duke. The very man standing before him killed 2 men in one night. Mario was one of the servants tasked to clean up the blood and remove the 2 bodies. Mario was concerned Edgar might one day make Alessandra disappear.
Who are you to my wife?
Edgar questioned, giving the man another glance over now that he had mentioned Alessandra. Alessandra had not mentioned anyone besides the young woman named Sally. Though the window was wide open and a breeze was coming into the room a moment ago, it suddenly felt as though the wind became still.
Relax, Duke. I am only a friend of Alessandra, and as her friend, it is my place to say if anything happens to her while she is in your home. I shall do anything I can to see you take your last breath. Do not hurt her.
Mario gave a warning. Edgar tried to take the man's words seriously, but in the end, he started to laugh. He couldn't help it when the threat sounded so childish.
It is not a joke.
Mario dropped the bags, tempted to punch Edgar. He regretted not finding another way for Alessandra to leave her family.
I'm sorry, but your threat is like someone going to the devil and pointing their little kitchen knife at him. I am happy to hear Alessandra has someone willing to kill for her, though you seem quite useless, as you stood by while she fought on her own. I am only the cook. What more could I have done?
Mario didn't like being judged by the Duke, as he had no idea how he had tried to help Alessandra.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I, on the other hand, am capable of protecting her. The threat was cute, but don't try to meddle in our new relationship. I have no time for overprotective friends who will question the slightest thing I do,
said Edgar.
I am looking out for her,
Mario replied.
This is true, but you also do not like the girl you started to have feelings for being with someone else. Let those feelings go, because I won't be letting her go.
Mario, caught between his genuine concern for Alessandra's well-being and his own conflicted feelings, felt a surge of helplessness. He had tried to warn Edgar, to make him understand that Alessandra had someone looking out for her, but his words had fallen on deaf ears. As Edgar turned away, a triumphant glint in his eyes, Mario knew this was far from over. He had made a promise to Alessandra, a promise he intended to keep, no matter the cost. But how could he protect her from a man like Edgar? A man who seemed to wield both power and a disturbing darkness? And what exactly were Edgar's intentions towards Alessandra? Was it genuine affection or something far more sinister?
Hey, I'm Alessandra. If you're wondering what happens next, download the Pocket FM app now and listen to the exciting episodes of The Duke's Masked Bride.
Pocket FM.
To unlock all the episodes, click the link in bio.